All right, everyone, welcome back. We have loaded in. We see that we do have KiWiKaKi versus Murder, kind of the one everybody's been waiting for, because KiWiKaKi is a ninja, and he's so exciting to see play. We can see that he is going to be the yellow Protoss in the top right-hand corner. His opponent is going to be Murder as the purple Terran. Once again, we would like to say that this particular match of the tournament is brought to you by Nation Voice. Nation Voice is the world's #1 industry-leading voice server provider. It is now offering for the first time a lifetime Ventrilo servers. With these servers, you only pay once and never have to pay again, as long as the universe exists. So unless, there's some sort of catastrophic event, they'll be yours until the end of time. They are a steal for only $10 a slot, but use the coupon code FACEBOOKNV to save 5% off of these servers. They set the industry standard with the lowest prices, highest quality, and best support. Check them out at www.nationvoice.com and help support one of the companies that is helping to support StarCraft 2 esports. So really interesting news there from Nation Voice, but as we look back into the game, don't see anything too interesting yet, just standard openings from both players.
Yeah, no, Nation Voice actually I think was came in a little bit later actually with the sponsorship, and I was completely shocked to read something like that. Lifetime Ventrilo servers from basically the best Ventrilo provider on the internet right now. You'll only pay for the slots you want, and then it's yours forever, and it stays online forever. So that's kind of pretty cool. And who's not gonna play games later on and use Ventrilo, right? So a really cool idea from them, so please check them out, guys. Remember the Facebook code, or the coupon code to get 5% off more. So you're getting a cheaper lifetime server is Facebook NV. NV for Nation Voice, so all one word, Facebook NV. So check that out, guys. Checking out the game again, of course, both players, standard openings. Earlier scout here from Murder, he's well into the base of Kiwi. Kiwi has not even he has not even scouted out his Terran opponent yet. He is just sending his probe now on 26 supply, so quite a bit later. I guess pretty confident in this little matchup, not expecting to get cheesed out or anything too crazy, but definitely seeing that probe has reached. Bunker going on the high ground for Murder, so he's going to take the safe route and get factory tech started.
Yeah, and this bunker with the quick factory and the tech lab means we're either going to see something like a super early siege rush, not too common, more likely going to see something like Banshees, possibly with Cloak. When you see this bunker on the ramp from the Terran player this early, it usually means they're just teching extremely aggressively, or they're going for an extremely aggressive expansion. But we see Starport going down right on top of that tech lab. That's exactly what you're going to expect. Once KiWiKaKi sees this, he hasn't seen it yet though. You need to get that probe up there to see the bunker. That's so important. But the probe is just sort of backing away. Probe might be messed up with the pathing for what happens when you click into the base when it's walled, but he is withdrawing to the watchtower without seeing that bunker. So he's not going to see that huge, like gigantic flashing sign that says, "I'm making Banshees" on the front of Murder's ramp. Is going to be not seen by KiWiKaKi, so we're going to have to see how well he's going to be able to prepare for this. He does have 3 gateways. He does have a robotics facility and observer on the way.
Ninja.
So, like I said, KiWiKaKi's a ninja. He's completely fine against this rush, even though he didn't scout it at all. It's just like, he doesn't need to scout. He's fine.
Scouting's overrated for the ninja. They just sense what's going on in the universe. So, Banshee coming out for Murder. No Cloak started yet. Stim Pack just started for Murder, so he is going to probably back that up. He is in his second racks down, so he's going to back that up with more bio. Command Center for Murder was very good. Kiwi is going to take this opportunity to get his Nexus down, but that Observer does basically ninja out any Banshees, and Kiwi doesn't need to scout. Like I said, you just sense the flow of the universe, and he saw the Banshee leave the base. Yeah. Oh my god, he's gonna be able to move back, and yeah, he's producing a second observer. You can see it's already rallied to the mineral line there. Kiwi's gonna be well protected against Banshees. No Cloak coming out, Raven coming out for Murder, and a third Rax, but Kiwi has blind countered this, and he's basically been in a great position, already getting his natural well underway, and has a great tech path to be able to counter this.
Yeah, and this is just a really standard build from KiWiKaKi, but seeing every little aspect of Murder's build, he was able to see that there's no cloak on the way, because they did finally fix tech labs where they're not animating, when they're not researching anything. And he checked that out with the observer, was able to see that he's in fact not getting cloak. So he realizes he doesn't have to get too cautious here, just make sure that he doesn't lose too much. He's going to lose a pylon here, but hey, whatever. If all I lose here to a Banshee in the early game is a pylon, then you're doing pretty good here for the start, because Banshees do take a pretty significant investment. Raven's out, another Banshee is going to be on the way, but Kiwi's doing pretty good. His expansion's now up and running. He's going to be able to move on to whatever tech path he wants, as long as he keeps staying safe against this Banshee. Murder's expansion is done as well, salvaging that bunker. So both players moving along in the game pretty quickly. But KiWiKaKi was able to shut down that Banshee pretty easily. But second starport here from Murder. Uh-oh. This is a little bit different. Could be going for heavy airplay with the point defense drones, Banshees, and Vikings. It is viable. It's tough to pull off. But I have seen a couple games where somebody has done just disgusting things with Mass Terran Air. So not something to be discounted completely.
People say that Kiwi stalkers can't fly. They can. Kiwi has the ability to change any unit into a flying unit at any time, should he choose. So he is going to get 2 forges up. He's going to surge well into the mid-game with great upgrades from these 2 forges. No robotics bay just yet. He's still only kind of, I think he may still be kind of weighing what he wants to do specifically. Has a great worker lead though, 52 workers to 37, so great probe. Kiwi, I don't think, has stopped making a probe all game, so just amazing probe production. So he's doing a great job of staying ahead economically. Terran Murder's going to clear out the gold expansion. Kiwi's going to get his 1-1, throw down 3 more gates. So he's going to go onto this kind of super gateway heavy. So there's a little bit of engagement there. Point defense does go down. But there's a lot of zealots, a lot of sentries there, able to shred a lot of the damage. Great maneuvering from the Banshees, though, able to snipe a few of the units, but there's still quite a few bio units from Murder out, and that point defense drone emptied out all of its energy, negating pretty much all the Stalker damage. You can see that Stalker's running away with 0 kills, so very solid use of point defense drone there. Banshee taking a little bit of the damage. 1 Banshee goes down for his trouble, and both players will walk away from that, just getting a bit of a reset timing, but KiWiKaKi on the lower end of that engagement, I would say.
Yeah, I have to say that Murder did come out a little bit better in that. Even though they're great force fields from KiWiKaKi, those Banshees went to town on KiWiKaKi, taking out almost every single sentry. And when you lose sentries that you invested in the early game, that's actually pretty nasty. To see KiWiKaKi has to warp in 4 more. That's 400 gas that's not going into tech, right as he's making a Twilight Council and researching from 2 forges. So that's a pretty big delay to whatever KiWiKaKi was going into, just managing to take out those sentries. And now Murder's pushing it again. The Raven did die, so he won't have another point defense drone. So this time around, KiWiKaKi will be able to do a little bit better, but not as much energy on these sentries. Can't drop too many force fields. Does get some decent force fields down, but now these Zealots are just perhaps unable to do anything. He will be able to sort of clear this out, but he's going to take a lot of losses here in the process. Warping in more Zealots, probes coming off the line as well. You know, pushing Murder away, but just barely. Still ahead in workers, but it's not quite as many as it was before. Murder is still getting decent exchanges here, and he killed almost all the sentries again. So he's still doing pretty well here with that base finishing up here at the gold. He's actually going to start pulling ahead, because you never want the Terran to have an extra expansion on you. Ever. That's just completely disgusting. And KiWiKaKi getting sort of pushed back onto the back foot by that early Banshee Raven. Now moving into the robotics bay versus Banshees. That might not be the best idea, because Banshees just completely destroy Colossus, even quicker than Vikings. So he's really going to have to focus on taking those Banshees out of the fight if he is in fact going to be going for these Colossus.
And Ghosts coming out, 2 Ghosts from Murder. Yay! We had mentioned the last game, we like to see Ghosts used very, very effective against most, obviously all the Protoss units using shields. 2-2 for KiWiKaKi being chrono boosted even. So he's going to be well ahead of Murder, who is just halfway through his 1-1. So he's going to have a great lead there. Zealot charge being added. You can see the Zealot numbers have swelled in Kiwi's army, so he's gone primarily to Zealots there, hoping to shred a lot of the units that Murder gets pinned behind those force fields. Murder has saturated his gold, though there is a planetary fortress there that cannot die based on the specking of blizzards, so it's going to be impossible for Kiwi to move across the center of the map. I would love to see what Kiwi can respond with. He is going to get Colossus out, of course, and Thermal Lance started, but he is well behind in terms, as you mentioned, in terms of actual tech versus tech. Lots of Banshees out for Murder, lots of Zealots and Colossus coming for Kiwi. Those don't work together.
If you look at Murder's army as well, there's a lot of medevacs. He's got 2 starports, one at the tech lab, one at the reactor, and he's just been making Banshees and medevacs. The Banshees just do extremely high damage, while the medevacs keep the bio alive, and it's just a really nice 1-2 punch here. He does have a lot of charge blocks, but this is a really nice place to engage against Zealots, as he can't get a really good concave. He's warping in more and more Zealots, and he will be able to wipe out pretty much all these units with just the Zealots, just because KiWiKaKi has so many. And he was able to finally take down those Banshees, so this was a really good adjustment by Kiwi, moving on to just metric, I don't know, lots of Zealots. I can't come up with the proper words to describe how many Zealots are here on the field. And, you know, KiWiKaKi coming up with a really good counter to what Murder's doing. And this is much worse position to engage, but he does have that planetary fortress here, so Kiwi can't chase too far, so it's working out a little bit better for him.
Yeah, Murder only brought 1 Banshee on that last exchange. It wasn't, I don't think, in his favor. There's Reapers coming out, which are a great answer to Zealots, of course. Zealots 2-2, though, I think, are the big. And now 3-3 coming up. Kiwi not missing a beat with his upgrades, and that is, I believe, exponentially increasing the effectiveness of the Protoss army. When those Zealots get in there, they're doing twice as much damage now as they were before. So that's a huge difference there, and I think something that Murder wasn't actually anticipating generally, missing those, as he is taking out that Nexus there at the third base there of Kiwi.
Yeah, Marauders do take down buildings really quickly. He's not quite going to be able to kill it, but it's going to be very low. KiWiKaKi's going to have to be very careful, because this Nexus only has 275 health remaining. So he does have his third up and running, but 1 medevac with just a couple Marauders in it can finish it off pretty quickly. So Kiwi's going to have to be really careful, because if he pushes across the map too aggressively, he's just going to lose his third base and be behind in at macro once again. Something you don't want to be against a Terran for an extended period of time, just ever. Just because, especially when he's going for this bio-like airplay, he's going to be able to reproduce extremely quickly with that macro advantage. You can see he's still consistently producing ghosts, to be able to throw out those EMPs, maybe throw some extra energy into some snipes. But there's now 3 Colossus on the field here for KiWiKaKi. One of them taking a little bit of a hurt from those Vikings, but there's just so many units here, charge lots, and the 3 Colossus. Murder is going to have to back off. Not able to quite face that head on just yet.
Yeah, 3-3 completed for Kiwi in just a few seconds as well. This next engagement's going to be very difficult for Murder. He needs to find that angle. He needs to be able to pick off those Colossus. Otherwise, he's going to be in a really bad way. Those Zealots are going to get in there and begin shredding really, really hard. 1 Ghost in Murder's army, so he will look to get the EMP off. The one thing about this Protoss ball is that it is a giant ball. You can see all of Kiwi's units on 1 attack move as he engages at the top of the ramp. Great EMPs go off, catch most of the Stalker army, but again, those Zealots just get in there and close the distance so well. The Marauders not able to micro against them. 3-3 army here is just killing Murder, and I think that's probably going to be it for Murder attack-wise. For this set anyway. He's going to lose that forward army. He has been really reset. 118 to 155, 163 food. Holy crap, Kiwi.
Yeah, he
he's
did
just
an
a
amazing
monster.
job there. Like, You can see that he had his Zealots, even though they weren't in the front, they were still constantly charging in the battle, distracting the Marauders. And Kiwi immediately went after the Vikings with his Stalkers, didn't even lose a Colossus. Just really well controlled by him. Ghost going down before EMP, another EMP going off, but KiWiKaKi just completely decimating Murder at this point. He can't get enough units out on the field fast enough. He's doing a really good job of prioritizing his fire with the different units, making sure that these Stalkers are constantly shooting down the Vikings to protect his Colossus. He is actually able to kill a Planetary Fortress at this point. That's how far ahead he is. That he could just attack this Planetary Fortress and then probably actually kill it. Finally, a Colossus does go down here from Kiwi, and the one is really low, but Murder is just completely pushed back here. Not a lot he can do. And one more Colossus, one shot left here from his Viking. But Murder's so scared of these Stalkers, he's not going for it, and he shoots the wrong one. Oh no. So, not actually quite able to kill his Planetary Fortress. He's going to wait back, get some reinforcements, get his gold base up and running, but now he's moved on to Templar tech to support these Colossus with Storm on the way, and still really great upgrades. Murder needs a miracle at this point. I don't know, maybe moving back into that Raven, because you know the Raven works really well for him in the beginning of the game. You can see Kiwi is on a really heavy Stalker composition right now, not quite as many Zealots. If he'd been keeping up with those point defense drones, maybe this would look a little bit different right now, but it's gonna be tough. Hey, look, a Raven.
There you go. You read your mind. I want to know is how Kiwi, if you look at his button layout just really quickly, he's got all of the gateway units on 1, and then just the Colossus on 2, and then the rest are buildings or the High Templar. He was able to get the Zealots to attack all of the Marauders, and he was able to get the Sentries and Stalkers to get the Vikings, but not actually on different control groups. So I just want to point that out, how ridiculous that is. And that Planetary is going to get just zerged down. It is going to fall, and Murder's going to lose his hold on the middle here, and most likely the game, as those stores are very well placed. Just need to get a couple of feedbacks on those medevacs to finish them up. But the ball of Kiwi's cutting in there. The Templar are tanking most of the bio, and that's probably going to be a good game, as Murder does actually, you know what, he has his third base, but good game from Murder there.
Yeah, really well played there by KiWiKaKi. It looked a little bit scary in the beginning, that really nice Banshee Raven push from Murder, but Kiwi just sort of took over, said, "What's up, I'm KiWiKaKi, I'm not going to let you win this game." And basically didn't, with some great decisions and great unit control.